Okay, I want to talk about 2017's It the Clown, given we have the new Welcome to Derry franchise out. Watching the second time at home, my son said on the way in, he noticed it's not as scary. It's a very big screen film, and they're taking advantage of, our imaginations, common jump scares, and of course, It the Clown. And it is a spectacular horror invention. Chlorophobia is the common fear of clowns.
Here, take it.
And I can understand why you're afraid of clowns. I mean, there's something manic about the idea of somebody eternally happy. And it speaks to madness. It's why the Batman world absorbed it for the Joker. Um, of course, the actor playing Bill Skarsgård, he doesn't do much with it. I mean, they've elongated his forehead, elongated his mouth, his lip is dripping, and it makes him salivating like he's hungry. He's desperate. And he's got a churn in his eye, which is really unsettling. And I was trying to think about why an unturned eye is unsettling. And it's such a strange thing because my dad has a friend who has one who's the most genial man, even with a dodgy background. But I think it's because we can't see into the eyes, and it just goes to show you how much we register from people by how they're looking at us. Pantomimes and that. I think Christopher Walken called them on our face in True Romance. I loved it from the get go. I just love how much money is spent on it and the time spent making the film. The control of light, the use of colour. Um, it does start off horrifying, and the kind of looming presence of death that it just spreads over the whole film does drop off a little bit. It does kind of return when he begins to show up, and there's kind of an expectancy because it is a clown. It appears to be a human apparition. There's this attraction or wonder as to why he's doing it. I always thought he was, like the whole thing's a metaphor for a paedophile. They were all sexually abused as kids, which I think kind of underscores the film. And I know one of the lead girls has that issue with her father. Um, and, to harken back to John Wayne Gacy and, paedophilia in small towns.
Because when you're alone as a kid, the monsters see you as weaker. You don't even know they're getting closer.
He's an interdimensional meme, but all these horror ideas are always kind of a subtext or a metaphor for some sort of real horror that Stephen King kind of shoehorns into his storytelling. And I can tell as a filmmaker, the director didn't do many takes with the kids, and that keeps it light. I think if you took the kids too seriously, if you gave them a lot of takes and made them really grounded and real and poured real human fear on them, it would alienate you from the fear that the clown would give you.
I saw something.
A clown. Yeah, I saw him.
Of course, Carrie J. Fukunaga, who directed the first season of True Detective, one of the Bond films, was supposed to direct both of these, but Poltergeist sank, and that would have been a much more interesting film, but it wouldn't have hit home with the audience as much. Um, this type of modern horror, like Smile, I think is probably one of the best examples. It just takes dread from the get go and stretches it across the film, and it just seems to suspend those anxieties that young people have. Um, and they do work some of the times if they find the right emotion that we can connect it. It just it just pinches that emotion and runs straight through, which is something Steven Spielberg did with a lot of his earlier films. Taking a singular emotion or a word for it and running straight through it. I'm looking forward to watching the second one now, and I'm looking forward to then checking out the TV series, which is more comprehensive. I mean, the book it is 600 odd pages. I mean, it screamed out to be a movie, a series anyway. But I don't know how much connection there is between the original books. Well, there's obviously loads of connection, like it's in the Stephen King world, people writing from him. But like, it's a good horror flick. I hope the second one is better. I think I remember I don't think it was as thrilling, but I think it was more interesting to see these characters and how they've been wounded their whole lives and that childhood connection. There's something magical about the Stephen King world.
When you're a kid, you think the universe revolves around you. You think that you'll always be protected and cared for. Then, one day,
Especially when now that we're all tied to our phones. I mean, they're jumping into lakes, they're on bikes, there's neglected whales, there's so many places to hang around and explore. Um, I suppose all childhood is like that, but he just seems to bring it to life visually, you know. Train tracks and whatnot. Um, but yeah, not a bad horror. Like, uh, I'm trying to think what it's missing. I mean, a lot of the visuals are tied to the characters, you know, but they're not really explained. Like each individual child has his own anxiety, and it is attaching to that. Fear is his emotion. Fear is his nourishment, and that's a spectacular idea. It itself brought to life as a visual manifestation, and his horror tricks that he uses to torment the kids are from their own lives. Um, Solid effort, kind of modern pop culture icon it has become. And now I think they're trying to begin to interlink the whole Stephen King universe, which is great because with that you'll get a couple of masterpieces squeezing through.